This week in Hampton Roads, we rang in the new year covering all kinds of changes, including homeschooling on the rise, the Mocha's impending move, and a new law to tackle scam calls. We also followed an update in a major case involving a disgraced doctor in Chesapeake and a conviction upheld in Hampton. Finally, we said hello to the newest faces in Hampton Roads, the first babies of 2026. So let's catch you up on This Week in Hampton Roads.
Norfolk fire crews are investigating what sparked flames at a home on Hardy Avenue. Medics rushed one person to the hospital, and 6 people are looking for a place to stay. Jemiah Beatty has that story.
I'm standing here on Hardy Avenue in Norfolk, where fire crews spent the morning responding to a house fire right here. You can see the extent of the damage, windows blown out, the roof caved in, heavy damage around the perimeter of the home. But Norfolk Fire say that one person was taken to the hospital, but 6 people are displaced. The home here on Hardy Avenue is a complete loss after a 2-alarm fire early Monday morning. Norfolk Fire says the call came in at 1:10 a.m.
Totally unbelievable to me in this community.
The fire damaged 3 homes, leaving the house where it started barely standing. Serena Tompkins says she was just doors away from the fire.
Actually, I was over at a friend's house, and all of a sudden we heard a big boom and the lights went out.
A viewer sent 13 News Now video showing the intensity of the flames as the 2.5-story home became fully engulfed. Tompkins says her friend was rushed to the hospital with injuries from smoke inhalation and burns.
She jumped out the window from the 2nd floor and hit the concrete, but she managed to jump out the window, thank God, and everyone else is okay.
Homes neighboring the fire also suffered extensive damage. While those displaced are left to pick up the pieces, many living close by are keeping the people who lost everything in their thoughts.
It's just a nice community, and I didn't think that house would catch on fire, any of these houses.
Fire marshals have deemed this home unsafe. Red Cross is now stepping in to support those displaced. In Norfolk, Jemiah Beatty, 13 News Now.
And the cause of that fire is still under investigation. In the next few days, city officials will make a decision on whether to demolish the home.
A plaque meant to honor the lives of fallen Virginia Beach police officers Christopher Reese and Cameron Gervin will soon be replaced. This after a few people noticed inaccuracies like the date of their deaths and spelling errors. Emily Harrison joins us now. And Emily, that plaque has sat at the oceanfront for the past 7 months.
Yes, and the organization leaders who placed it there say that they are well aware of the issues. The former president of the Virginia Beach Police Foundation says when they first got it, they had a choice to either immediately take it down or to temporarily leave it up to at least get their names up on the honor wall. Organizers say they chose to keep it up out of respect for the families.
The mistakes only really jump out when you get a good look at it. At the top of the plaque is the correctly listed end-of-watch date, but a few lines down, it changes from 2025 to 2024. And at the bottom, there is a spelling error when referencing the officers' surviving loved ones.
As a daughter of a policeman, long since retired, obviously, I would feel really sad if that were my father on there and the dates and the names and anything wasn't true.
Jake Jaycox, former president of the Virginia Beach Police Foundation, says they noticed the issues almost immediately. He says he contacted both fallen officers' families, and together they all chose to keep it up because if not, there would have been a blank spot on the honor wall. Jaycox released a statement that says in part, quote, "Production and staffing issues have delayed the vendor's ability to provide a replacement. We are focused on honoring their sacrifices and ensuring that their names are never forgotten." People at Virginia Beach's oceanfront say if it can be changed, it should be.
Go ahead. You know, if you put that in there in the first place, go ahead and make sure it's all correct.
But even though it's really cute right there, you know, it's nice, but they could do something different.
Officers Christopher Reese and Cameron Gervin lost their lives while responding to a traffic stop in February. A gunman got out of the car and shot them both before taking his own life. Jaycox says it is a top priority to replace the plaque before the 1-year anniversary of their deaths, which is now 2 months away.
Now, the former president tells me that they've used the same vendor for years and they've never had an issue like this before. They actually tried to replace it earlier this year, but they say that replacement plaque was too big. Emily Harrison, 13 News Now.
A Suffolk woman jumped into action after an SUV drove into the side of a Suffolk dentist's office on Christmas, trapping the driver inside.
Yeah, Brittany Miller actually spoke with a woman who says she pulled the driver out of the vehicle and to safety.
Yeah, that woman says she ran from her home to this building on Main Street after she heard the crash and saw black smoke because she knew someone needed help. On Christmas morning, an SUV plowed into Howell Dentistry on Main Street in downtown Suffolk.
We happened to hear a bang and then another bang, which was even louder.
Samantha Mallory can see Main Street from her front porch. She heard the crash while her family was still opening presents.
And I was like, oh gosh, does somebody need help?
Mallory ran outside, not even stopping to put on shoes. When she got to the dentist's office, she saw a woman trapped in an SUV that was on fire.
And I run up to her car, put my arms up underneath her, and pull her through.
Mallory, a healthcare student at Centera College, says she was scared the truck was going to blow up as black smoke filled the sky.
As soon as I pulled her out of the car, I was like, we gotta crawl.
Mallory's young daughter ran up to Main Street too, fearing the worst.
I was scared that I wouldn't see her on the next day.
Now that the smoke and flames are gone, Samantha Mallory says she's still worried about that driver.
I would love to know how she's doing. I would actually love to go and visit her.
Mallory says she believes that woman was having a medical emergency. This morning, I called Suffolk city officials and they texted me back just a few hours ago saying that they can't go on camera and give us an update because the investigation is ongoing. Reporting in downtown Suffolk, Brittany Miller, 13 News Now.
And the downtown location for Howell's Dentistry is closed for now. They're operating out of a second location in northern Suffolk while repairs are made.
An affordable ride-share option helping students and families get around Virginia Beach for only $2 a ride could be on the chopping block. And now people who use Hampton Roads Transit's on-demand program are concerned about how they'll get around town if it goes away. Derek Lytle spoke with a local family and a rep from HRT to find out what's happening. Derek.
Yeah, hey, Dana. The family I spoke with has a student at Virginia Wesleyan University and shares this service gives their student an affordable $2 option to get around Virginia Beach. They say they learned from a driver of that service. It could shut down January 10th, and they are now advocating for a different decision to be made.
The drivers told us that it was being discontinued, that Virginia Beach City did not fill out the paperwork that needed to be done for it.
Wendy Shelby says the HRT on-demand pilot program that began Virginia Beach service late last year has been beyond beneficial for making transportation in VB affordable.
From Virginia Wesleyan, where my college student is, all the way up to town center. So a $2 trip can get you pretty far, versus if you're using another mode of transportation, it's anywhere from $13 to $30 for the same distance.
Her daughter Jordan says college students like herself would not have access to an affordable way around without HRT on demand.
They'll use it simply for grocery shopping or getting to college, and it is so beneficial when you can't afford other transportation.
Thomas Becker with Hampton Roads Transit says their goal is expanding the service through Hampton Roads, and he says it's up to Virginia Beach leadership to decide whether to move away from the on-demand program.
It was a pilot program, and the city decided maybe to go in a different direction. And not to be evasive or anything, but I want the city to talk about that as not because it's a funding mechanism. So a decision, was made.
A Virginia Beach spokesperson saying in a statement, quote, City Council will soon decide if they want to continue the Bayside HRT on demand. City staff are exploring options to offer citywide microtransit services in the future. Shelby says it's a pilot program they want to see stick around.
The J term is getting ready to start at Virginia Wesleyan, so she'll have it for about 5 days, and then the ride stops.
Now that HRT spokesperson tells us this program will actually expand to Chesapeake and Hampton beginning January 12th, and the already existing service in Newport News will continue to be offered. Derek Lytle, 13 News Now.
All right, thanks, Derek. And again, HRT's spokesperson says it's ultimately up to individual cities to agree to keep the program running. No word from Virginia Beach yet on when exactly a decision about the program will be made. More Virginia families are pulling their children out of traditional classrooms and teaching them at home.
Yeah, there's new state data that shows homeschooling is on the rise again. Now, this is reigniting questions about oversight and potential impacts on public schools. Ashley Smith has the story.
Homeschooling is growing again in Virginia. Data from the Virginia Department of Education shows a 4.3% increase last school year after a nearly 6% jump the year before. More than 56,000 students were reportedly homeschooled, compared to nearly 1.3 million enrolled in public schools.
Safety is the number one concern among homeschoolers. For others, it's religious issues.
Dr. Watson Scott Swale with the Educational Policy Institute says nationwide, homeschooling still accounts for a small share of students, but remains a durable option for many families.
It's over 4 million students across the country who are homeschooled. I think it's definitely more permanent, and I think you'll see even an uptick.
Meanwhile, the debate over regulation continues, centered on how homeschooling is monitored.
They're not the same regulations as in public schooling. Public schools have to account for many other things.
School divisions are also watching because student enrollment is tied to resources and planning.
Well, the funding is based on headcount. There's always this argument of diffusion here in terms of where the funds are going to or where the funds are potentially being taken away from.
As for families considering the switch, Dr. Swale says homeschooling can work, but only with significant commitment from parents.
Are you up for doing this day in, day out? If you're not up for that, don't do it because you're not doing a service to your child.
Ashley Smith, 13 News Now.
In Virginia, parents who homeschool must notify their local school division at the start of the year and submit proof of progress at the end. But students educated under religious exemptions are not required to submit year-end academic reports.
I'm not able to move around like I want to. It's excruciating pain. It will put you down for I'll be down for 3 weeks at the most, just laying in my bed, can't move.
Dracena Holloway was in her 20s when she received her first surgery from former doctor Javid Perwaiz.
When I had my twins, he gave me a C-section, and I thought that was kind of strange because there wasn't nothing wrong with my twins for me to get that C-section.
But that was only the beginning to a long, painful journey. Holloway says she received numerous unnecessary surgeries by Perwaiz, including 3 early-induced labors, a, quote, tumor removal for cancer that she did not have, and a tubal ligation at the age of 27 without consent.
I have abdominal pain, and it's really bad to the point where I can't stand on my feet no longer than 4 hours.
Perwaiz is sentenced to decades in prison, but now Holloway and more than 500 other women are taking action against leadership at Chesapeake Regional Medical Center. A lawsuit filed by multiple attorneys, including Victoria Wickman, claimed the hospital's CEO James Jackson and former CEOs Peter Bastone and Wynn Dixon were negligent and knowingly enabled Perwaiz to perform harmful, unnecessary surgeries for nearly a decade.
To know that that happened to women in their 20s, depriving them of the ability to become a mother, is beyond sickening.
The suit asks for $10 million per plaintiff for damages that Wickman says some women like Holloway will face for life.
Obviously, no amount of money can undo what has been taken from me, because what I go through every day, I'm still going to go through it no matter what. So it's like forever pain.
And while there's not a set court date yet, the lawsuit demands a jury trial. Brianna Fallon, 13 News Now.
In a statement to 13 News Now, a spokesperson with Chesapeake Regional Medical Center said in part, Perwaiz has never been an employee of Chesapeake Regional Healthcare, and his actions occurred without the knowledge of the organization. Well, the Virginia Court of Appeals has upheld a Hampton Circuit Court's conviction of Corey Bigsby, the man found guilty in 2024 of killing his 4-year-old son, Cody. Derek Lytle spoke with a member of the community who leads an organization advocating to find Cody and bring him home. Derek, she says years later, their effort doesn't stop.
Yeah, Dana, take you inside Nancy Strickland's living room. Sits a picture of Cody Bigsby in between 2 pictures of her children. She says in the 22 months following the disappearance of Cody Bigsby, she aided in those search efforts, rallies, anything to find him. Now, even with a conviction of the boy's father, one thing still haunts people in this area. Cody Bigsby has yet to be found. Nearly 4 years ago, Cody Bigsby was reported missing by his father, Corey. Corey Bigsby convicted last year of second-degree murder and concealing a body. Still, the 4-year-old's body has never been recovered.
This man is in jail, has been convicted, serving 45 years, but yet won't tell the community where this baby is.
Nancy Strickland leads her organization, We Are Cody's Voice. Let's find Cody. She says since his disappearance, this case has left the community puzzled and upset.
Frustrating. It was very frustrating because Cody meant a lot to this community.
She says for several years, those interested in bringing Cody home have searched here, all the way to D.C., still days before 2026, and no Cody.
Train stations, me and him, we went everywhere, thinking that he may be that way. We searched Hampton, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, high and low.
In a jailhouse interview with 13 News Now in 2024, Corey Bigsby says he did not know where his son was.
No, I don't know what Cody is. I never knew what Cody is.
Bigsby even went as far to ask the community to continue searching to clear his name, becoming visibly upset.
Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. I need that because as soon as we find Cody, I guarantee you we'll find out that this is...
Strickland believes Corey Bigsby knows exactly where his son lays dead.
Ask him to be a man and tell us where Cody's at. We already know what you did, and we need to know where he's at.
She believes one day soon, leaning into faith, Cody Bigsby will eventually be found and closure can then become complete.
That God's going to rebuild us where Cody's at, and we're going to be able to bring him home, and so his mom can have a burial for him.
And we did reach out to several lawyers who have represented Corey Bigsby in the past. One of his most recent, Amina Matheny Willard, responding today saying no comment. Derek Lytle, 13 News Now.
All right, thanks so much, Derek. And local advocates say they are in the works to plan future searches and rallies in 2026 for 4-year-old Cody Bigsby.
Right now, respiratory illness is skyrocketing across Virginia. According to the latest data, 1 in every 4 emergency room visits is for respiratory issues, and specifically the flu. Emily Harrison spoke to health officials on both the state and local level about this rapid rise.
According to the latest data from the Virginia Department of Health, overall respiratory illness activity is high and trending up, with respiratory illnesses accounting for 24% of all emergency room visits last week. Specifically, there is a rise in flu cases. Elena Diskin, the state's respiratory disease program manager, says almost 10% of all emergency room visits are only flu-related. COVID and RSV make up less than 2% as flu dominates Virginia hospitals.
Our COVID levels are remaining pretty low, and we haven't seen those increase since the surge in the summer. And RSV is increasing, but thankfully the immunization, the newer RSV immunization, has been really helpful in reducing those severe illnesses.
Dr. Eric Obie with Hampton Roads Riverside Urgent Care says just 2 days ago, his team implemented a mask policy as more and more people come in with the flu.
It has become very dominant for flu, and over the last 4 days, the percentage of positivity has over doubled. Just in that short period of time.
Dr. Obie says the most common strain of flu here in Hampton Roads is influenza A. Influenza A is covered in this year's flu vaccine, and Dr. Obie says getting this year's flu vaccine is still your best chance at avoiding the most severe symptoms.
And unfortunately, it started hitting right before the holidays. So with everybody getting together, traveling throughout the country, I very much expect it to blossom over these next 2 weeks.
Emily Harrison, 13 News Now.
And remember, it's not too late to get your flu shot. While it may not protect you entirely, it could save you an emergency trip to the hospital. A new technology is rolling out in Hampton Roads to get drivers to pump the brakes. The company Lifesaver is encouraging super speeders and new drivers to install their intelligent speed assistance device to prevent speed-related crashes. Brianna Fallon has the details.
When Tammy Guido McGee's son Connor died in a car crash due to a friend's excessive speeding, it flipped her life upside down.
All 3 boys were gone in a blink of an eye from something that was 100%
preventable.
Years after Connor's death, McGee is finding new ways to keep his memory alive by pushing for safer driving laws and technology, like this intelligent speed assistance device.
Yeah, I kind of feel it right now.
The device will automatically adjust to the speed limit, so no matter how hard you press the pedal, you will not be able to drive even 1 mile per hour over the speed limit.
It doesn't beep at you, it doesn't whistle at you, it doesn't vibrate the steering wheel. It simply stops the car from going faster.
Michael Travers, president of the company behind this new technology, says the device acts like training wheels, aimed to stop super speeders and teach teens safe driving habits.
We worry about drunk driving, but speeding with drunk driving is worse. We worry about distracted driving, especially in the state of cell phones. But distracted driving with speed is worse.
The speed assistance device connects with satellite and GPS technology to instantly measure the speed limit. To prevent more deaths like Connor's, Travers and McGee encourage all new drivers to give the device a try before picking up any speeding habits.
If you get involved now when teens are beginning to learn to drive, we can actually save lives together.
In Williamsburg, Brianna Fallon, 13 News Now.
The Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art is getting ready to say goodbye to its longtime location on Parks Avenue near the oceanfront. In 2026, MoCA will move to a new location on the campus of Virginia Wesleyan University. Layla Cox spoke with the museum's executive director about the move.
It's an exciting time to be transitioning. Obviously, it's a new year, fresh start for Virginia MoCA.
New year, new MoCA. The Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art is marking the end of an era that spans over 3 decades. After 37 years located at 2200 Parks Avenue in Virginia Beach, MoCA will relocate to Virginia Wesleyan University's campus in 2026.
Moving into our 70th year as an organization, and it's so exciting to think about kind of future growth, sustainability, and really growing our footprint across the region as the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art.
Where We Meet is the final exhibition at the Parks Avenue location. The exhibit features work from 77 local artists who responded to various prompts, including Where We Meet, Where We Love, Where We Remember, Where We Dream, and Where We Grow. Executive Director Allison Burns tells 13 News Now about one artist that found a creative home within MoCA's halls.
Mia Giles' work is painting of our 2 studios. So it's where she as an artist actually started taking classes here at the museum, and now she's, growing and doing wonderful things as an artist in her career. So I think it was a nice way to kind of talk to MoCA's history, but also to her own connection here.
A farewell celebration is scheduled for the second weekend of January. Burns says attendees will not only be able to walk the Parks Avenue location for the very last time, some will get a chance to take a piece of history home.
We're actually doing a silent auction in our vault. That the first time the community will get to go back into the vault and bid in a silent auction on some of our best boardwalk art show pieces that we've collected over the years.
In Virginia Beach, Layla Cox, 13 News Now.
And we're told the new location at Virginia Wesleyan University will increase art exhibition space inside the museum and across campus by 20%.
A Virginia Beach couple is turning grief into help for families facing one of the most common birth defects in the United States. Their nonprofit provides financial and practical support so parents can stay focused on their child. Here's a closer look at Miles of Love.
January 6, 2024, he passed away.
Yes.
And so this upcoming August, he would have been 3 years old.
Paul and Chelsea Lamb say they lost their son Miles at just 5 months old.
He was born with a rare congenital heart defect, and he was hospitalized for his entire life.
Miles had Epstein's anomaly, a condition that affects the tricuspid heart valve.
His valve lets too much blood into his heart, so his heart got really large.
The Lambs traveled repeatedly from Virginia Beach to the University of Virginia for his specialized care, putting everything else on hold.
We learned just how tough it was on families, all of the financial issues that you come into, the scheduling, the child care if you have other children, and just kind of the lack of family resources outside of the hospital scope.
So they created Miles of Love to help families of children with congenital heart defects afford gas, meals, and major bills, so parents don't have to choose between work, home, and the hospital.
They don't have to say, where are we going to live? Do I have to sell my house? Do I have to sell a car? And we can step in and take care of those while they're tending to their kid.
At Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters, the nonprofit also donates comfort and caregiver support items aimed at easing stress during hospital stays.
Snack bags in that they give out to parents who are bedside, blankets, and we're starting up surgery bags, like a little stuffed animal for the child, a little heart pillow, gift card for the parents.
The Lambs say this is how they carry Miles with them, by helping other families through their own fight.
Talking about him is almost like a form of like therapy in a way. Like we can share like how'd you navigate this, and just knowing that his story can impact other people, I think is what is kind of what's important.
Miles of Love is now preparing for its annual Hearts of Hope Gala and fundraiser in August, which is Miles' birthday month. If you'd like to support the nonprofit, make a donation or shop their item wish list you can do all of that by clicking the link in the story on 13newsnow.com. Now, the Lambs say you can also help by sharing Miles of Love with more congenital heart defect families. You can also email Ashley if you know a person or group who is making a mark in Hampton Roads. She does a great time and enjoys telling their story.
And the new year also brings more protections for Virginians who say they're fed up with scam calls and texts. A new state law now in effect targets telemarketers and gives consumers more control over who can contact them. Jordy Clark explains how this could help you.
Hello, this is Dennis.
Good morning, Mr. Castro. You have an outstanding balance of $3,000.
For many Virginians, scam calls and text messages aren't just annoying, they're constant. Today, a new consumer law is taking effect, and the goal is to give people more control over who can reach them and when.
When solicitors reach out via text message, consumers now can unsubscribe, hit stop on their cell phones, and then the solicitors, the people that are reaching out to them, have to adhere to their request for up to 10 years.
The law strengthens Virginia's rules around telemarketing, requiring legitimate businesses to stop calling or texting once a consumer opts out. But experts warn that scammers may still try to get through.
Cyber criminals don't follow law. And if it's a number we don't know, if it's someone that's trying to get information off of us, asking for money, whatever it is, don't react to it.
Now, to see just how common this really is, I took the question straight to our morning Facebook page, asking viewers about scam calls and texts, and the response was immediate. One Hampton Roads resident wrote, "I get them 7 days a week. Some of them show up as government numbers or private numbers." Another said, "I block them and it doesn't help. They have alternative numbers." And one viewer added, "Whatever law is beginning January 1st, I hope it works because nothing has thus far." Consumer advocates say the new law is a step forward, but protecting yourself still means staying cautious, blocking suspicious numbers, and never sharing personal information.
It's going to come down to the consumer to protect themselves, that we have to just stop and take a breath. Look at what is before us, make the decision.
For 13 News Now, I'm Jordy Clark.
Please don't call me again.
All right, under the new law, companies must honor stop unsubscribe requests, and businesses that ignore those requirements can face penalties under Virginia's existing consumer protection laws. New at 6, for some families in Hampton Roads, 2026 marked the arrival of more than just a new year. One couple at Centera Princess Anne Hospital in Virginia Beach welcomed a baby girl, Kinley, into the world just after midnight. Photojournalist Luca Pfeiffer introduces us to the Johnsons and the newest addition to their family.
She's going to think that everybody, the whole world's celebrating her birthday.
Absolutely.
She gets fireworks and the countdown and everything for her birthday.
Yeah. We were due on January the 7th, and we went to the doctor, and they said, you need to go to the hospital. It was exhilarating. Yeah. We got here at 3 o'clock, and the time started ticking.
Quickly.
We said, we're going to have us a newborn baby.
It was very close. I think we didn't know if it was going to happen right away, and I think she was ready. She was ready to be here, and we were ready to meet her. She's been very sassy. Like, in the beginning, she moved a lot and did a lot, and now she's here. She's just been so calm and sleeping most of the time, really. I was joking with my aunt that we should play the song on the way to the hospital. I'm coming out. And they sang it on Rockin' New Year's Eve, and so that was really cool to see. You were older. A lot of laughter. I was just happy.
Yeah.
It was so nice. She was so precious, so beautiful.
A blessing.
Yeah.
By far.
Oh, certainly is a blessing. And here are some more. Riverside Regional Medical Center in Newport News also welcomed its first baby of 2026. Eliana Andrea Lopez Chavez arrived just after 6 this morning, weighing 6 pounds and 8 ounces. Finally, baby Ellie was born at Chesapeake Regional Medical Center just after 1 a.m. She weighs 7 pounds, 2 ounces, and congratulations to all the new parents.